So I'll show you real quickly how I get ready in the morning. I turn on the on-demand water tank. You got to have one of these. This is our EcoTemp. Self-contained. You don't use a lot of propane. You save. You got to have this off the grid. But this is the only place where we have hot water. So I come in here, and this is where I wash my face and my hands, and I know it's kind of weird, isn't it? But this is just our setup. These are some of the things that you just, like my boss, she's so cute. She's like, Starry, no woman is going to live like you. I know, you make it look so wonderful up there, but I know how you're living, and it's rough. She's so cute. There we go. So now I just wash my face and turn that off, and then I come over here. I know this is crazy, and then I'll get ready. Yeah, there we go. All right, and as I get ready, and I want to explain, I have lights. The great thing about our setup is we're off the grid and we have solar. And wow, it's like having a fully functioning house. I mean, there are things that obviously are a little bit different from them being on the grid, and we have to make some concessions. And we have to make some concessions about those lights. In fact, it's cloudy and I got to turn those lights off. I can't be standing here and talking. I have a blow dryer, as you see over there. When I use it, just a little bit. But right now the sun's coming out, so off the extra lights go. I could not imagine living off the grid and getting up in the morning and turning on the kerosene lamp to put my makeup on. I don't put a lot of makeup on, but wash my face, brush my teeth, put whatever makeup on I do put on. You'd have to have a lot of kerosene lamps in order to see, because kerosene lamps do not give out bright light. And even when my friends who are on the grid and they lost electricity, then they used battery-powered like flashlights and lamps, and they're like, whoa, it's nothing like having real power. But we haven't had a lot of sun, and I've got 0.9 right now. The computer's going, and it's not taking up a lot of electricity. And see, our battery's getting a little bit, and it hasn't been really calibrated, but I have to be careful. So today, like every day, everything really gets turned off. There's nothing that really is running. And pretty soon our diesel generator is going to be coming. Yay! Going to do a video on that. People have been asking me what brand generator it is. I don't know. Green Mountain. And I don't know if Green Mountain is where we bought it or if that's the generator. It's a diesel military generator. Military. Must have been in Desert Storm because it was packed with sand. But they refurbish it, they clean it up, and it's kind of like buying those big forklift batteries. If you go off grid, many places around here will recommend they have forklift batteries that have been refurbished. Great way to go with solar and your batteries. That's the other thing. We were on the fence post about forklift batteries, and we found out about that after we bought all of our batteries. And we thought, well, if we ever do need to buy new batteries, we'll get forklift batteries. But if you know how to treat your batteries good, they should last, 15 years, some 20. And I know that it's like when you get online and you read this stuff, 5 years. That's a lie. That right there is a flat out lie. Batteries last longer than 5 years. Otherwise, people wouldn't go off the grid. Unless you walk the walk, you can't talk the talk. Okay, I wanted to show you, and this is now it's the end of the evening. That's kind of my how I get ready in the morning, and just making some observations. When people come to our channel. We did this setup so that we could function. We could have some comforts. And in fact, I'm going to take you to a real off-grid, hardcore, pioneer, throwback in history place where she lives by kerosene lamps and candles, and she hauls in her water. And the lady is an elderly lady, and she's been doing this for a long time. And she does have a generator. You know, even the hardest of the hardest core people have a generator. They see the need. But she, it's amazing what she does for her lights and how she gets around not having access to electricity. And that's, you know, she's on a budget, and that's how she chose to do it. Because it was too expensive to hook up to the grid. Now there are those few percentages, and they're low percentages. People who don't have the money to hook up to the grid. It's very costly to have electricity. I don't care where you're at in the United States. You know, what's the minimum charge to hook up to the grid when you're building a new place? $10,000 just to go across the road. Trust me, look into it. It's expensive. If you're buying a home, obviously, that's hooked up to the grid, those costs have already been rolled into the mortgage. So you're still paying for that electricity, but it was rolled over into the mortgage when they first built the place. And then either you're paying off that mortgage or plus, you know, the monthly fee for electricity. But I'm going to take you on a little road trip, because I've been doing some babysitting also, and visiting. She's got doggies, and I love her doggies, but it's very interesting. So be watching for that video coming up. But again, very small few people elect to live that way because it's not practical. In fact, this lady might not be able to come back to her place. It's just not practical. So we're living in modern day, and solar is so affordable nowadays. I mean, it's so affordable and it's so freeing. So people who build new homes are really looking at that alternative energy source. People who don't want to go fully off the grid are looking into grid-tied systems. People who are just looking to be more prepared are looking at backup solar and generators. So people are really empowering themselves with this alternative energy. But those who boo-hoo it and criticize, and there are people out there that criticize us who live with solar. I gotta shake my head. It comes from a hardened heart, those who have to criticize, because you know what, this lifestyle is, I look at this lifestyle is very freeing, very empowering. I think it gets us back to our roots. It helps us be focused on not so much that material world, the world that's so full of stress. But it's unfortunate, because I remember one comment kind of sticks out in my head, and it just kind of popped up one day, where someone said that if you have solar panels, you're really not off the grid. You're not off the grid if you got solar panels. Really? Well, why don't you tell that to all the thousands of people who are off the grid, who use solar panels as an alternative source of energy? Being off the grid means, all it means is breaking that tie to the grid, the big grid, the electrical grid. And you got to have some type of alternative energy, right? I mean, so there's always going to be people who are critical. We get that. And on social media, there are people that hide behind their computers, or they'll just even go on YouTube and say it, and they have no shame. They have no shame. And it is too bad, because what it does is it causes a wedge between people. It causes division, and there shouldn't be division. This is a lifestyle that should bring people together, and we shouldn't be nitpicking of how we each choose to live individually and what we choose. Kerosene lamps or battery operated lamps, or LED with solar, or just plain generators. You know, there's a strew of people in my neighborhood that are generator only off grid. Are they really not off grid because they have the generator? I've got people up the road that have over 40 solar panels plus a backup generator. Well, you know, how much is enough, right? Should never, 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 ever. No, 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 no. Remember, God is watching. He knows our heart. Watch what comes out of your mouth. Okay. All right, back to the generator here. So again, I'm just going to do a real quick reminder. It is a military diesel generator. It was a substantial investment, but remember that it can be and is part of that investment, that long-term investment, to have good, reliable alternative energy. Those solar panels, your batteries. And we chose to go with the L16s, I believe, interstate batteries, brand new. And when I say that they should last over 10 to 15, 20 years, yes. There was a lot of misconceptions that batteries, I have heard this misconception over and over again. People have told us, 5 years, done. Batteries are done after 5 years. We're going to be going on 7 years off the grid. Oh, how does that happen? Those batteries should be fried by now. Don't believe a lot of, unless you're living this life. We've got people up the road again who've been off grid for more years than I can count. 25. Always buy new batteries. That's the other thing. You're investing in a system. Man, don't skimp. Don't skimp. Don't think that you can get your batteries off of Craigslist. And you don't know how they've been treated. You don't know if they've even checked the specific gravity. You don't know if they even kept water in them. You don't even know if the plates are warped. Do not buy used batteries. No. No. I'll say it again. No. All right. And this place, I'm not going to tell you where I got it from because I would not recommend it. They were not honest with dealing with us. They shipped it here and it was not working. They didn't check it out. They were supposed to check it out and get it up to par. They never did. So, all right, you live and learn. But there you go. There's another Starry reality off grid. I just wanted to get you people excited. And even if you decide not to go off the grid, maybe just have a better understanding of why we chose how we live and why we have the stuff that we do, and how it differs from other people who are off the grid. There's no standard. There's no standard. It's just we all live the way that we live. But I know I like my solar panels in my generator because you know what? I like it that I can leave the light on and I'm not sitting here by a kerosene lamp. No way, Jose. I mean, I can be half savage, but I'm not gonna go. I'm not going there. All right. God bless. God bless, friends. Keep coming back.